Hello orchid addicts of all various colors and shapes, and welcome back to the Lion's Garden. Now this right here is going to be the August orchid collection update, and what you see here is a quick view of all of my Phalaenopsis in bloom at the current moment. So I'm going to try to make it quick and sweet and just get right to it without too much hesitation. Okay, what you see over here is my Phalaenopsis violacea Indigo in bloom. It is absolutely stunning. I don't think the camera picks up the color accurately enough. Compared to all the rest of the orchids around here, this is the sweetest blue ever. It actually has hints of blue, and it's horribly sparkly. It's so flipping sparkly, I love it, currently looking at it. This color is like literally lilac, like precisely lilac. I hope the camera can pick up some of the sparkle. I can't see it right now because like the sun is shining on my phone and the screen is broken as it is. But yeah, it has like a couple more buds coming on the secondary spike, but yeah, it's a new plant. It's very small still, and it's really giving me like quite a beautiful show with creating, you know, a couple of flowers at a time. Now I'm gonna take a quick whiff of the fragrance. Oh, this is so sweet. This is so utterly glorious. Oh, I can't describe it. Okay, people have been talking a lot about the Phalaenopsis violacea fragrance being similar to cinnamon. Now, I do detect that quite a little bit, but I recently got rose essential oil, and let me tell you, this smells exactly like concentrated rose perfume oil. Like rose oil. This is so rosy, but it's not your typical rose fragrance. It's just like, it's really good. Like, it's like roses with cinnamon. That's how I would describe it. Utterly precious. Okay. Next here, we have my LD's Bear King, hybridized with tetraspis. It has a gorgeous, like, deep salmony color with hints of light brown. It's ending its blooming for the current period. I don't know if it's going to have any more blooms. I suspect it should. As you can see, it's utterly beautiful, utterly brilliant star-shaped flowers. I'm really pleased with the color. It doesn't have, like, the variation of color on the separate petals. It seems to be all even because its parent LD's Bear King is like a solid red, I think. So yeah, I mean, look at this. Look at this. It's so perfect. It's so glorious. It also has a wonderful fragrance. It smells like hand soap, like really delicious hand soap. It's like it's like a lily hand soap. It smells soapy, but really nice. It's not disgusting. It's like really clean. You would really enjoy putting this like in a bathroom or something. Okay, next here, as you may have noticed, is my sweet memory Liodoro. I'm going to give you a bit of a close-up of these blooms. Look at it, it's so cute. It has like a bunch of these like very magenta lovely freckles and a light yellow background. The flowers themselves, they're quite large, as you can see. The lip is also very thick. I've noticed my sweet memory Liodoro sometimes changes the shape of its flowers based on when it blooms. I don't know what's up with that. I'm gonna move out of the way, but look at this. Isn't this just a precious sunshine? Look, like yellow edging and like purple center and these like burgundy lower parts, and the lip is also cute. Sweet memory becomes a bit more yellow as it ages, and it has the most gorgeous fragrance ever. It really fills my room. I have like tried to put my finger on it quite a lot, and I've recently come to the conclusion it smells like freshly made plum jam. Like, if you ever made plum jam, you should try it. It's really similar to that. Like, imagine like hot jam, freshly made. It smells like I don't know, like it has like a hint of sweatiness to it, but it's delicious together with the plum like jam like smell. I think it has like a little bit of a potent, let's call it like that, fragrance, because it's one of its grandparents is the Amboinensis, and Amboinensis and Vinosa are reported to have quite strange fragrances, so I really need to get my hands on them. So this right here, the gorgeous bloomer with an abundance of blooms, it keeps going strong. Its blooms last for ages and ages and ages, as you can see over here. This is my Asantha Rogue. I, you know, had a little bit of a spotlight on it on the, what it's called, international, no, it was the global virtual orchid show, yeah. So as you can see, it's still going strong, and its newest open bloom, it's like a wonderful blood red. It's so good. This is my favorite color of them all. Like, look at it. It's so precious. Now this has like the slightest hint of a fragrance whatsoever, but I wouldn't really call it perfumed orchid. Yeah, and I love how glossy it is in the sun. It has like these white reflections and like deep red reflections. It like really looks so sparkly and glittery in the sunshine. You'll love it. Just like try out your orchids in the sunshine. They'll have a whole different scenario around them. And also it has been recently reporting, and it's currently working on a bunch of new roots. It's a bit dehydrated, but it will get better soon. This right here, gorgeous monster, it's really glossy, like burgundy colored Phalaenopsis. This is my Haur fancy. So yeah, it has a tendency, it has sequential flower spikes, as you can see over here, and it usually sticks to one bloom at a time. The blooms are quite big. They vary a little bit in the shape and color. This is like a little bit of a not so pleasing bloom, but it, you know, has a variance going on when it blooms. I think it still needs to stabilize because it's quite young. No fragrance on this one, but utterly gorgeous, thick, glossy blooms. I really love it. And this right here is my focus. Phalaenopsis Valentini. This is a cross between Cornucervi and violacea. It has quite small flowers, but still like noticeable. Also very gorgeous burgundy color. Yeah, I can't really comment much on it besides the fact that this is a floriferous, healthy plant. It's very pleasing, and it also has like exactly the same fragrance as the violacea for me. And also it has like these most gorgeous reddish leaves, and you can see the new one over here. It's looking super healthy, and it has like a light green stripe in the middle, so that's like really cute. I think that's about it for these ones. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a comparison over here. Ah, look how splendid it is. So yeah, let's move on to other curiosities going on in my collection right now. Like, nothing special is happening, a bunch of new growths, but I really want to show you the new orchids that are ordered, that I showed in my previous video. I've reported them, so I think they're looking quite nice. So yeah, stay tuned. Alrighty then, here we have a couple of new growths on some of my orchids. I am definitely not going to show all the orchids which I have currently in active growth, but these are quite, you know, a few curiosities going on worth noting. So over here you can see is my recently purchased large Miltoniopsis. It's a new growth, is pushing on quite nicely, but it's visible it's a bit dehydrated. It has a couple of roots going on over here. So yeah, it should come along. It's only suitable, but it's having a little bit of browning, but this is not rot, it's solid, it's okay, but I'm gonna have to keep a close eye on it. This might be sun damage, but I'm keeping it at like a northeast exposure window, so it doesn't really receive next to any Okay, next to any direct sunlight, but I don't know what's up with that. Here's a really curious orchid though. This is, I think, my Guanmouse City, or the dark purple Cattleya. It has been recently reported, as you can see, it's proper flimsy. It created this tiny pseudobulb, which is the only thing that's really holding together this orchid right now with this stake. Luckily, you can see it's creating new growths, new roots. But the silly thing about this, it has a new growth which goes absolutely like horizontally. It is putting out a new little root, which is excited, but yeah, it has a sheath. Now, I think many already mature Cattleyas have a tendency, when they are set back, they continue to produce sheaths, but they are empty, so I think this is definitely going to be an empty sheath, but it's one of my hardest battered orchids currently, so yeah, it's recovering and it's actually pulling jokes on me. So that's a bit entertaining. Some of my orchids are more grim, but it's not such a big tragedy. And this right here is my seedling of Cattleya Voltaire, which is functionally a cross between C.G. Roebling and Doviana. It is promising to be a very gorgeous orchid. I don't know what will come out of this. I have two seedlings. I think they're seed grown, so the blooms on both might be different. But as you can see, it might not stay a seedling for very long, because it has two very gorgeous new growths which are promising to be very big. Its roots have completely taken over the pot, so it probably needs to be repotted quite soon. I think these growths will mature like they're, themselves, and then I will report them as they're starting to produce new roots to cause, as minimal damages and setback as possible. But yeah, this, honestly speaking, should grow quite a big orchid, because it has quite a big amount of Laelia purpurata influence in it, so it might pull out to be quite a huge one, but we will have to see. It's definitely a pleasure to see, your Cattleya seedlings making good progress. And talking about good progress, this is the opposite. Now, this is my Cattleya loddigesii Coerulea punctata, and this is a very struggling orchid. As you can see, it has a couple of growths over here, but its leaves are showing signs of dehydration. It has a problem that its new growths keep constantly rotting off, and I think it's because, they get some... Okay, he stopped. Some water trapped in the sheaths, but yeah, it's not giving up, so neither am I. You can see a new growth being produced here. So I'm thinking of replanting it in sphagnum moss. I need to get some more, and then it might take off, but... it's a setback seedling, which is like the worst combination ever, but it's a fighter, and I respect that a lot. So over here we have a very nice recovery of my Brassavola Nodosa. I counted that I have like 6 new growths, or even more. I think this is a new growth over here, this one. New growth. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So it has 7 new growths. It was set back last year due to me forgetting to water it properly, but this year it's going off. I'm thinking, when it will start producing roots from these new growths when they mature, I'm going to divide it and neaten it up and report it, because as you can see, there's like severe algae buildup in this pot. It's only external, but yeah, it looks quite disappointing. But yeah, you can see some new growths coming on, and yeah, because of it getting dehydrated, it is also prone to being sunburnt. So yeah, we have quite a few, adventures in my collection over here, but at least there's something to do, So yeah, I also almost forgot to mention, this is my Oncidium Twinkle, cinnamon, I think. And yeah, it has been working on new growths. They definitely haven't pulled their fullest size possible, I think. But they're nearing maturing and the plant is, you know, going strong. It's a very good thing happening considering that it didn't have nearly any roots left. And I don't know if I recall it correctly, but these might all be separate divisions. I don't remember anymore, but yeah. By the way, I wanted to show some of my species Phalaenopsis growing like real little monsters over here. This is my Phalaenopsis Vinosa. It's creating its first ever flower spike. I hope it will pull through. It has been kind of sitting there really not doing anything, but yeah, as you can see, its root system has gone absolutely bonkers, so we'll have to, you know, report it pretty soon. But my Phalaenopsis Pultra Red has done a little bit more of a job at the cray department. As you can see, its roots have gone completely insane and it's actively producing many new leaves. They are not the fullest size possible, but yeah, it's pulling on quite nicely. I'm really proud of it. And an honorable mention, I think this is my Guanmao City division, and it's currently being kept in like moist sphagnum moss because it has no roots whatsoever. It's recovering, but so far so good. Oh, that's a little bit of a rot. Okay, we'll have to deal with that, and that's a little bit of a beetle. Oh god, what the heck is happening? Yeah, I'm gonna deal with it, but yeah, the point is it's going on. Sorry for the creepy crawlers. And here's a little bit of an honorable mention. Here's my fabulous, healthy, vigorous Cattleya lobata young plant, which is nearing maturity. It has an abundance of roots. It's looking very gorgeous. It's got some beautiful moss going on in its pot. It's overall very healthy. Well, think again. Yeah, do you see this on the leaves? So yeah, I'm showing this orchid specifically for the reasons that this is the last time you're going to be seeing it in my collection. I am tired of it. It is too shady. It originally had some black rotting spots on these older leaves over here. I am quite sure that was calcium deficiency, which stimulates necrosis of the tissues. But over here you can see some yellowing spots which are spreading, so I'm pretty sure this is a virus. So yeah, bye bye baby, bye bye, it's your time to cry. So yeah, pretty sad, but I can't say that I'm a very big fan of this species. There are others which I would like to get in its place. But it was a truly variation. I had high hopes on it, and it is very vigorous, but no point keeping it if I know it's a little bit too diseased for my liking, you know. I don't want to perpetuate that in my collection, so that's it. Say your farewells, and now we are going to the second house to see the new orchids. Out with old, in with the new, as it always goes. So over here are my new orchids, which I recently ordered in my birthday haul from Orchid Garden in Poland. And as you can see, the vast majority of them have recently been reported. Here we have my smallest orchid, and this is Cattleya Tsiku Elagantine. Variation Coerulea crossed with Cattleya aclandiae Coerulea. And as you can see, these are truly, you know, seedling orchids. I realized that I had like two, seedlings within this order, which is a major bonus for me, and I'm actually hoping they will have different blooms because I strongly suspect they are seed grown. And as you can see, here's a little bit of a new growth coming on along over here, and this seedling over here also has a new growth. I hope you can make it out, but yeah, they have a long way to go, but I am fully confident they will be, you know, very much all right. This is my Brassavola Cuculata. It has these very, you know, grass-like little leaves, but it should get quite huge. and its growth style is pendant, so it has, you know, it is a messy orchid, but it has very glorious blooms, and I'm holding my thumbs up for those. I do believe I have two separate seedlings that I potted together in this pot. So yeah, this is a cross between two siblings apparently. Moving along, this is my Cattleya mossiae species seedling. This one over here is a coerulea variation, and what I found quite curious is that this is a single seedling, but it has three very lovely new growths. This one is a new growth, this is a new growth, and this is a new growth, so it should bush up very quickly. That's very exciting actually. What's over here? This is my SLC Seagull's Raindrop crossed with CTNA. Why not? I'm gonna just call it Seagull's Raindrop crossed with why not these. This is a very complex intergeneric hybrid, so I couldn't possibly figure it out fully. But yeah, it's looking very gorgeous, and it has two little new growths coming along on the bases over here. Hope you can see them. Very promising. I'm very satisfied actually. So this is my Myrmecophila tibicines crossed with Sophrocattleya Orpetii. Oh look, I remember it from the top of my head. I discovered, yeah, again I have two separate seedlings within the same pot. Very happy about that. Huge thumbs up. I'm hoping they will have different blooms, but also they have like 2-3 years left to grow to actually reach blooming size. But looking at the pseudobulbs, they have no problem progressing quite fast. This seedling over here has two new growths, and this one over here seems to have a single one. Very good, I'm very excited. Hoping by the end of October all of them will have matured their new growths, so they can actually rest for the winter and then continue on strong the next year. I choose to pot them all in sphagnum moss for the vast majority. Seedlings enjoy sphagnum moss a lot more, so it's very easy to keep them like evenly moist and stuff. This is my red Cymbidium. It's called Shaly Red, I think. Yeah, it's a gorgeous seedling. This was the only one which I didn't report because I ran out of bark and moss. I need more of that. I prepare my own. But yeah, this is a very healthy orchid. I'm fully confident that it will do quite nice in this current mix. It's growing in new leaves. The only thing I'm actually worried about is that it might be in a sphagnum moss plug, which might lead to rot. But so far so good. I will report it this year, so no worries. And over here I have my Rhynchostele Vexativa. I actually, you know, cleaned off the tags from the glue with some alcohol. I think it was called white spirit or something like that. If I'll find it, I can show you the packaging later, but generally speaking, acetone, like the nail polish remover concentrate, not the gentle one, but the actual concentrate, is pretty decent at removing it. But any like dilutant or whatever is good at it. I'm not a big expert, you girls can ask your husbands about that, you know. I'm a hairdresser and a gardener, not a construction. Well, I am a construction worker, enough of that. But yeah, over here I removed all of the seedling growths. I saw no point to it. This is quite a climbing orchid, so this is a single seedling new growth. It has a little bit of roots, decent roots going on over here, so I'm hoping it will pull through quite nicely. And this is my Oncidium Sotoanam. Now this orchid I bought for a friend of mine, and as you can see it's also making some glorious progress. Both of my Oncidium types have very substantial new growths, as you can see over here. This Oncidium also managed to come along with a very small seedling together in the same pot, and the lady actually allowed me to keep this one, so that's very excited. I actually wanted the Sotoanam. What we have over here is Rhyncholaeliocattleya Pyrrha, I think. It's a cross between Cattleya labiata and Rhyncholaeliocattleya glauca. I have two separate divisions in this pod because the seedling had two divisions where it was growing, and while I was reporting it, they kind of broke apart because the connecting rhizome in the middle of them was very thin. So yeah, there are two orchids in the same pod, but that means they'll bush up twice as fast. The only thing I can say about this right now is that it has a very gorgeous new growth coming all along over here. Last but not least is my Phalaenopsis Ludamaniana. As you can see, it's doing very well due to watering very soon. But yeah, it's a healthy orchid growing a new leaf, and that's about it. I think it should bloom like next year and stuff, but yeah, it's quite a messy one. But it will be alright, I enjoy it a lot. So yeah, I think that's about it. Oh wait, one more last orchid. So, hi, hello, how you doing? This over here is my birthday orchid. My brother's family, you know, got it for me. And this is the last little bit that I want to show. This is a very typical complex hybrid Phalaenopsis. I located it in my bathroom in the new house. I can't say that I would purchase it by my own means, but there are a lot of things to appreciate about it. Look at it. It has like a white color with a slight tinge of purplishness to it. It has this very gentle striping, veining going on the petals, and the lip is utterly stunning. It has like that typical Phalaenopsis amabilis lip with which reminds you of morph antennas and stuff, and the color is really beautiful. It's a mixture of like burgundy and purple and yellow, and I really enjoy it. This is like a very fabulous color combination. It's quite inspirational. I gotta draw something which looks vaguely similar to this color combo. So yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, thank you for watching this update and see you next time. So ciao.